Alright, welcome everybody back to the Alfa Romeo drive experience. This time we are going to go inside the car and talk about the technology, safety, and features of the vehicle off the road. We're actually going to show you what it would be like for a delivery process if you yourself was buying this car. So I'll start over here. Here are your window controls. I can lock my windows from here. All of them are going to be in auto, so they'll go down with one touch. I have my seat savings over here, so I can set my seat adjustments from taller to shorter people. I know it's a challenge sometimes. I also have my mirror adjustments. I can move it back and forth, as well as move my mirrors down and out, move them back out as well. And then I can open my trunk from back here too, but I also can do that with the key. Around my shoulder, there's going to be a parking sensors and my light settings. Of course, those are going to be on auto, so don't have to worry about that. First, I have my steering wheel. This is the first thing that I really notice when I get in the car is because the ignition's on the steering wheel. And I have everything convenient here. All my safety settings are right here. My cruise control is going to be right here. That is adaptive. And then over here I have my voice control, so if my phone is connected, I have Siri, or I will have the car at my touch to say, hey, go to McDonald's or go to, Genesis Health Club. Then I can answer a call, adjust my volume settings, and then as well skip through my radio adjustments. Next, I have my paddle shifters that are going to be column mounted. So as I'm going around my corners, they stay stationary, and I can shift all I want if I want to be in that manual mode. Underneath, I'm going to have an adjustment to move my steering wheel out, bring it closer if I like. And then up here, I can adjust these settings, whether I want my time to be different, whether I want my temperature to be different. I can adjust all that on the placement of it and what is shown there. Then I can go through my screen here and see my trip A, how many miles I have till empty, my average MPG, and then I can go over to my instant MPG. It's going to show me as I'm driving. Then I have my regular screen, or this is actually the screen that I could see whether my safety settings are on. Over here on this button, I can move, it's actually on this little windshield wiper thing. I can press the in, and that's where I can turn my lane departure settings on. From there, when I set my cruise control, I can set it, and then I can turn my highway assist on, and there I have spaces. So I can have my distance set from the car in front of me. As the car pulls in, it'll show a little Alfa in front of me, and then I can choose to back off or get closer. It'll reset. But if they slow down, I slow down. If they come to the stop, I come to a stop. Or I can just get around them. Very simple. Then I have my regular screen that has my speedometer, as well as it will show you my phone information, any music I'm playing. It'll show my step-by-step navigation instructions with the in-dash navigation. It's got a lot of cool features. So when we move down here to our console, this is going to be a wireless charging, so I can slip my phone right down there, and it's going to automatically wireless charge. I should have a setting up here that says, hey, your phone's being charged. It's always nice. Otherwise, if I want, I can plug in my phone, and that will connect the Apple CarPlay aspect of the vehicle. Down here, this is my toggle button. It's very easy to use this. It's been on the Alfa for past 3 years. Even though they just got a touchscreen, this works 10 out of 10 times, just works like a charm. Of course, I got my home button, and then I have my settings button. The cool thing about my settings button is it's a shortcut. So if you go in here into the radio, I'm going to go on the radio, and I have my Fleetwood Mac playing. Let's say I want to change the bass and treble. I can press my settings button, and it takes me to a shortcut to my audio settings, and only my audio settings. Whatever widget I'm in, I can get to the settings, I can get to the shortcuts on the console. So here's my radio. I will have an HD radio, I'll have a Sirius XM trial for a whole year, as well as I can connect my phone, USB ports, anything like that to play music or audiobooks. I can show my favorites off, I can see my station list, as well as I can search. So if I want to just scan to the next station, I will. Here's my in-dash navigation. It's updated, it's new, it's very reliable, but your Google Maps and Apple Maps will be 100% faster. It just takes us less time to connect via the satellites, the directions, it connects and updates overnight. It's a faster product, but the navigation is here for you if you need it. Here's my phone information. I'm going to be able to connect my phone, so let's go ahead and do that. I say, all right, I want to connect it. Go to my settings button. Then I'm going to go down to my Bluetooth settings. Showing here, there's no Bluetooth yet, so I'm going to connect my phone. Go to my Bluetooth settings here and watch for my device. Right here it says Alfa Connect. I'm going to connect that. It's pretty easy. I just got to make sure that on the screen pairs with what's on my screen. Everything's paired up. I'm going to allow my contacts to sync. My phone's ready. My contacts are updating. My audio is going to update. So I'm going to have phone and audio, can take calls, play music, Spotify, whatever it is. Now I can go, there's my phone. And this is going to be my phone screen. I can see my battery, I can see my signal. I can even change this little picture up here too. There's my phone. Go over, and this is going to be my driver's assistance settings. So this is where I can change and turn off the settings. First off, I have my active blind spot. This I can turn it off here, but I also can go down and set the driving modes and really what it does to me. My mode right now is a warning and keeping for my blind spot, so if I have somebody in my lane and then the lane next to me, it's going to keep me in my lane because somebody's there. But I just want only a warning, and it's going to light up it's going to light up in the mirrors a little triangle. And then I can choose my warning type if I want it to be visual, do I want it acoustic, or do I want it to vibrate my steering wheel. And I can choose all that myself. Of course I have options if I want it to keep me, that I can go down and change the sensitivity and strength, but we'll get to that in a second. Down here is my lane keeping assist. This is the feature that I feel a lot of people want because it's a lane departure alert. We all get distracted in the car and feel like we can do 100 things at once. This is here to help. It's not a replacement, but it's just an extra precaution to keep you in the lane. It will keep you in the lane and turn in the road for you, near self-driving. As long as you keep your hands on the steering wheel, and it will alert you if you do not. Everything's going to be driving on its own. It'll have the after cruise, it'll have your lane departure alert, and it's going to be very minimal effort for a drive. But here I can choose my mode, my warning and keeping, or I can go to an only warning, but I like it to be a keeping as well. Then I can go to my warning type and choose visual, acoustic, visual and vibration, or acoustic and vibration. I'm going to keep it visual and vibration. I'm going to have my screen up here actually show me on these lines. It'll highlight whichever one I'm closest to. So if I'm crossing the right lane, it'll tell me and it'll vibrate my steering wheel. And it'll also keep me in that lane. And then I can choose my sensitivity to early, late, whether I'm close to the line or whether I'm center in the lane. That's the determination. And then I can choose between strength, low or high. I have my forward collision warning. That's going to be on the car no matter what. The same process they use for the proximity sensors will be the same as they use for the forward collision warning. If I'm close to a car, it'll alert me. It'll say, hey, warning, brake now, and then it will brake for me. However, if I'm pulling in a car to a parking spot or driving downtown and there's somebody that passes by my front of my car, it's going to pick up that person as well. So it's a very sensitive feature, but at the same time it should be. I can choose my settings on that. Then I have a driver's attention assist, where they have this on Mercedes. They've had it for a while. But basically, it's hey, pull over and get a cup of coffee because you're not driving right. If it has to warn you, a couple times that you're, crossing the lane, or you're going too fast, basically not keeping the same speed or anything like that, it's going to say, hey, you probably should just take a break for a second. It's there for a safety precaution. Then I also have my intelligent speed control. Basically, it's going to tell me, hey, there's a speed limit sign coming up at 65. Do I want to let you know when you're going over the speed limit, or do you want to be alerted 10 under as you're approaching it? I can go all the way up to 10 over. So if I want, it'll alert me when I'm going 75 when the speed limit's 60. And I'll recognize that. It'll also make the lanes for you if you're in construction and there aren't any lanes. It's really cool. So it'll keep you in line regardless. This is my traffic signal recognition. You've seen this on your iPhones, Google Maps. It's going to have the same thing on your Stelvio. And it's going to tell me, it actually says right now, it's probably picking up from I-35. My speed limit's 60 miles an hour. It'll alert me if I were able to go 70 right now. It would say, hey, slow down, you're going over. And I can also shut that off, so I don't always have to have that on. Back down here, we're going to go to the speed limiter. Basically warns me when I'm going too fast. And this is my park settings. So my parking sensors will be around the entirety of the car. It'll warn me for a forward collision alert. It'll also give me a rear cross traffic alert, where if I'm backing out in a parking spot, another car is approaching, it'll alert me. It's really cool. And then there's my backup camera on my automatic high beams. It'll pop up if there's not a car in front of me. Otherwise, I can restore all the driver settings down here. All the screens have a place where I can restore the factory settings, so it's really helpful for the new owner. Go back here. Then I can go to my climate. I'm not going to touch on my climate. I'll show you what it looks like. But basically, I'm going to turn that on. Here's my screen. You can adjust all that. I also can go to my heated seats and my heated steering wheel. However, it is all conveniently located right here. Heated seats, heated steering wheel, and then all my directionary stuff, my fan, my AC, all that's right there. Very easy to use. I have auto dimming mirrors, rear view mirrors, and as well heated mirrors. So it is you're gonna have all the works here come the winter time. Next page. This is the good old settings page where I can change my lights, my units. I can even rearrange my widgets and resize them. It's really cool. But I can also go to my comfort and convenience, have an easy entry, so when I get out of the car, it'll back up my seat so I have plenty of room to get out. I also can change settings like the sound and the horn. When I come up to the car, it's going to lock my door, it's going to lock all the cars. When I do an auto start, it's going to heat my seat up, or it's going to do all the seats. That's the settings you can really get into. Doors and locks. This is my infotainment, where I can go down to my home page. Then I can go to my widget reorders and my widget resize. I'm going to resize a couple widgets actually. I'll go down to the performance page. This is what we'll get to next. So I'm going to enhance that. And I'm going to go to my main screen, go over to my performance page. This is a live update. If I'm driving, I can see my oil pressure, my boost pressure, as well as my pounds of torque at the same time. This car is a 2.0 turbo, 280 horsepower, with 295 pounds of torque. It's really impressive and a lot of fun. But then I can go in here and I can see my technical gauges. That's the same page as I saw on my home screen. I can go down here and see my consumption history. all-wheel drive. This is actually a really interesting part of a car because you think SUV, they're all-wheel drive, most of them are all front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, but every single car is either front-wheel drive dominant or rear-wheel drive dominant. There are cars like Mercedes and BMW and Porsche that if you're not front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, you're going to be rear-wheel drive, and that's just how they come. Alfa Romeo is the same way, so is Maserati. So these Stelvios and this Giulia, they're going to be all-wheel drive, but only when needed. So as you can see here, my power is coming from my rear. That means I get a different feel of the drive. I'm being pushed instead of pulled, and it's a more active when needed driving aspect. So if I get caught in some snow, or if I'm a patch of ice or whatever on my driver side wheel, it's going to send power to that wheel, but it's going to adapt as I go along. And it's really cool because if you ever drive with this going, you can see what percentage of power is coming from what wheel, and that's on your speed as well as your braking. So it's very cool to see how your car operates. That sums it up for my performance pages. I'll touch back on my settings real quick and then we'll go into Apple CarPlay. Settings is just one thing where I can go in here and check for updates, check for my map updates. The majority of service appointments you'll make for these cars will be a software update to your steering because it's electric, or your brakes because they're electric, and sometimes even your engine has software updates. So there's a lot more electronic parts to it that you wouldn't think, but very computerized. I also can check my manual in here and search it by images and words. And if I'm in a stage where I lease the car, it's going back, I can clear my personal data. So I can restore the settings if I want to. Again, all of that is there. I can clear my personal data to update a new phone if that were the case. But that sums it up for the settings. I can really dive deep into it, but you're just going to have to come by the car to find out. Here, next, they have this available for 2017, but it was slow to start. Every Alfa Romeo and Maserati will come with Apple CarPlay standard now. So what I'll do is I will basically connect my phone with the cord, plug it in, and it'll ask me on my phone. Here in a second, I'll say yes on the screen. It says Apple CarPlay. I said yes. And on my phone, it should say, hey, would you like to activate it while it's unlocked? And I said, of course. That way, it will integrate my phone, display it like my phone, and I don't have to touch it at all. In fact, I'm going to just leave it right here for me and get it out of the way. My contacts are here. My phone's being charged. My music, my maps, I have that up. My maps, and then my messages. Then I can go back to the home screen right there, or I can press my home button. Again, I can set all this, my settings for my car is here, and my Google Maps are here. And it displays everything like I would. My WhatsApp is here. I can text people via voice. I can call people. It's just really cool. My Spotify's here, play my music that I like. I can go from listening to my earbuds to listening to my computer to listening to my car, and it's just so easy. My regular screen, and of course it'll show me, even if I have music playing on Apple CarPlay, it'll show me up here too. This is a little shortcut I can get back to it. And that's going to be my Apple CarPlay. Pretty simple. I don't explain a lot of the Apple CarPlay because it's very self-explanatory. If you're on your phone all the time, or even for a little bit of the day, you know how it works. And so when it's projected onto your car screen, it's like you're home almost. So that will sum it up for my technology part of the car. If you want, we can go around the car. This particular vehicle is for sale at Aristocrat. We have the updated audio system, so it has about 900 watt speakers. It has just about everything but a sunroof. So driver assistance plus, and we got plenty of new inventory. Great deals for heading into wintertime as well as Christmas.